Hello and welcome back. You're watching Sydney Direct on Dukascopy TV. I'm Natalie MacDonald. This week I'm reporting from the FSC annual conference taking place at the Gold Coast. One of the topics, investment, the Incredible Hulk. A little bit confusing? Well, so was I. So I caught up with Liz Gray, partner at K&L Gates, to find out a little bit more information how this could be shaping the investment sector in the future years to come. Liz Gray, many thanks for taking the time to chat with Dukascopy TV. Much appreciated.
It's an absolute pleasure.
You're most welcome. So today we're talking about the homegrown fund management industry. How do you see sort of the state of play at the moment within the sector?
Look, I think the Australian investment management industry has done really well. It's really grown up over just over 20 years from the start of the superannuation industry in the early 90s. It's really grown up over that period of time. And what have we developed? We've developed some amazing skills. We have grown and developed some fantastic leaders in the industry. We've grown experts in product development, we've grown experts in portfolio management, fund management, and we've grown a whole lot of expertise around the investment management houses. We have a fantastic group of fund accountants, custodians, administrators, and maybe our funds lawyers aren't too bad either. We have a great base. We have a fantastic set of skills, and we've got a long way to go. We've built it. We now need to learn how to export it.
Absolutely. I guess that's where the Incredible Hulk metaphor comes into play. If we're looking to really reach that full potential, then funds are going to have to engage that Asian investor. How are you seeing corporations going about developing it in order to do that?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of thought being given to what those investors want. What does an investor up in Shanghai, for example, what do they want? What sort of portfolio management expertise do they want? What sort of asset classes do they want to invest in? And I think that's an issue that the Australian industry really need to focus on. We're very good at managing Australian equities, and we do have a lot of expertise in real estate and infrastructure that we are good at exporting, but we need to look at what other asset classes those investors want to invest in and make sure that we've got an industry that brings that expertise back down to Australia, because what we've been really good at here is training experts who then take their career offshore to be able to expand and develop their expertise. We need to give them something to come back to, and for other offshore experts to come back to. I think that's a really fundamental piece. The next thing we need to do is to come up with the packaging around that. And for me, this is something that I feel really passionate about. We need to develop a fund structure and a taxation system around our investment management capability that the world wants, that the world understands, that the Asian investor is used to investing in. We need to have corporate collective investment vehicles, for example. We need to have limited partnership vehicles, for example. We don't have them. So when an investor from Shanghai again, when they're investing $100,000 into a fund, they need to understand what that fund structure is, and they need to know that the only thing that they've got at risk is that $100,000. We can't offer them that at the moment, and we need to be able to offer them that. We need a tax system that's easy to understand, easy for fund managers to administer, and that's not costly to administer. The system we have at the moment is costly to administer and very difficult for an offshore investor to understand. So we need to get our tax right.
So there's what we want and what we perhaps need, but how are you actually seeing companies respond to these changes, and how does it shape your outlook perhaps for the future of this sector?
Look, I think there is a real realisation that this isn't going to happen overnight, that we need to get these building blocks in place. We're more than capable of putting these building blocks in place, but we need to do that. And once we've got that, we can develop something from an export market that's 4 or 5% to something that should sit at more like 40%. So in the UK, for example, the investment management industry there, 40% of what they manage comes from overseas. In Singapore, it's 80%. In Hong Kong, I think it's about 75%. We are 5%, and the majority of that is real estate and infrastructure. We need to build the building blocks to then be able to take our expertise and offer those investors what they need.
Now, naturally, this discussion has formed part of several discussions over the last few days. What's sort of the key takeaway that you're going to be taking back to your desk with you on Monday from this conference?
Look, I think that there was a question put to the industry at one of the keynote presentations by Craig Emerson yesterday afternoon that made me pause, and I hope it made a lot of other people in the industry pause. His question was to the industry, what is our value proposition? What can we offer to this investor that can't be offered by fund managers sitting in the US, fund managers sitting in London and Europe? And I think that we need to come up with the answer to that, and that's something that the Australian investment management industry needs to come up with the answer pretty quickly.
It's an absolute pleasure hearing from you. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great comments there from Liz Gray. That is all we've got time for right now, unfortunately, but I will be back with more exclusive interviews for you from the FSC annual conference. For now, though, it is goodbye.